Hey everybody, Darren here from the Single Dad Zone. So we've been going through Tony Horton's 11 laws that'll change your life, and that's part of the big picture. So we have covered 8 so far. I'm not going to go through all of them again, but Law 1, do your best, forget the rest. We got your purpose, your plan. We have variety, intensity, consistency, love it or leave it, all those other laws. So today we're going to talk about law number 9, which is finding a balance. And this one is probably one I need to work on. I try different things. I sometimes go a little too extreme and end up paying the price. A good example is I tried something today. I tried having no carbs whatsoever, and I felt like crap. I felt very lethargic, and cutting out the carbs, not a good idea. So, we're always trying to balance things in life. Some of the laws that we have are variety and consistency. You need to balance those two. You can't have all variety, can't have all consistency. We have our consistency with intensity. It's very hard to have the intensity level up here all the time. You got to have some balance. And the same thing with our purpose and our plan. It's all got a balance. It can't be just teetering all the time. So Tony Horton, he talks about Yin and Yang, Chinese philosophy, where Yin, that's the white part of the symbol. I'm sure you've seen it before. That's like the relaxation. That's like the chill effect. The nice little walks on the beach and sitting up looking at the moon, or even the solar eclipse that we had today. And Yang is the energy. That's your action, stress, passion. That's all part of the Yang, and you got to balance the two, and that's what the Yin and Yang symbol are all about. It's about that balance between the two, because if you're always going all out with high intensity, eventually you're going to get hurt, or something bad's going to happen, whether it's physical, emotional. Either way, you can't always be all out. Something that a lesson I need to learn, and I'm working on. So you need to adjust and think about how your action. You need to think about where you're at physically, mentally, emotionally, and it's a lot like a seesaw in life. You're never going to be just sitting there in the middle, just perfectly balanced. You're going to be going back and forth, and you got to always be adjusting to try to find that balance. Sometimes maybe you rest a little too much, or sometimes you go a little too crazy. You need to find the balance, and the way you do that is you got to live in the moment. A lot of people are focused on their past. They're always, they feel bad for something that they've done, or how they lived their life, or things that have happened to them, and that's not going to help you. And the same thing, there are so many people, and I used to be one of these, always worried about the future. Like, what is the future going to bring? All this worry about something that may not ever happen. And most of the time, the stuff in the future that you worry about the most never happens. The most important thing is to live in the present. And that's what you need to analyze to find that balance. Because what you're doing today is what matters. What's going to happen in the future, what you did in the past, is not part of that balance. And one of the things he talks about is meditation. And we're not talking all this like new agey stuff, but meditation is really just sitting for 10 to 15 minutes, taking nice deep breaths, make sure it's quiet, that you're not being interrupted, that you can just sit and focus and clear your mind and relax. And one of the things I like to do is I like to keep a pad next to me while I'm doing this 10 to 15 minutes of relaxation and deep breathing, because a lot of times some really good ideas come to me. I know you're supposed to keep your mind clear, but when your mind is clear, sometimes you get some of the best ideas. It's kind of like when someone asks you the name of someone, or they ask you something and you can't think of it, and you're like, I know it. But then hours later, when you're all relaxed and you're not thinking about it, all of a sudden it comes to you. When you're meditating, when you're just relaxing and just letting your mind be free and clear, sometimes you get some really good ideas, and that's why I like to keep the piece of paper next to me. There's also a good app called Headspace, which is a kind of like guided meditation. It's got the kind of funky new age music, and someone with a soft, calming voice. kind of helping you relax. But you don't need that. What you really just need is to sit calmly, nice breaths in, nice breaths out, and try to not think about anything. That's really the most important part of meditation. Now, this balance applies to all different parts of your life. It's like with children. You can't be the disciplinarian all the time. Otherwise, they're going to grow to resent you. Discipline's important, but it's also important, to be supportive and caring and kind. It's that balance. All parts of your life. With fitness, a lot of people ask me, hey, I'll tell you now, I'm 48 years old and I rarely ever get injured. And I do very, very intense workouts. I did get injured a while back, about 3 years ago. I got injured really bad. I tore my rotator cuff, my bicep muscle. But you know what? That was a direct result of not having the balance. I did something stupid. Actually tried to do, I did actually 300 burpees, and I paid the price. I got injured really bad, and that's because my workout was out of balance. I was trying to do something that my body wasn't ready for. And you'll see, when I post, some of the things I do to find that balance is, I always do yoga. Flexibility is so important. It's got to be part of your workout routine, part of that balance. Tony Horton calls it the 3 R's. You need rest, you need recovery, and you need to relax. And that, combining those 3 helps your body to recover so that you can keep up with a high level of activity and not get hurt. When you're physically fit and you feel good, it also helps your mental state and your emotional state. Everything is interconnected. That's one of the key points that I've taken away from the 11 laws is, it's all connected. Your heart, your lungs, your brain, the oxygen that goes to the brain, your fitness, what you eat, it's all connected. And another thing that Tony Horton, I actually learned about this when I did several years ago, P90X2 with Tony Horton. This is a foam roller, and it is just an incredible tool to help keep your muscles loose. You get that myofascial release. You go find all those knots in your muscles. You can roll, your calves, your quads, your lower back, upper back, your arms. It is an amazing tool. If you've never used a foam roller, you should just Google it and watch some YouTube videos and use the foam roller. It makes you feel so much better when you have that myofascial release. Again, it's part of the balance of always working out and doing high intensity workouts. You need to find the balance to counteract that. You need, you got to have the yin with the yang. So when it comes to the big picture, balance is essential. You can't have all intensity, you can't have all variety, you can't have consistency with total insane intensity all the time. It's all about the balance. And law number 9 is you got to find the balance. And this was a really good law that you need to think about, because if again your balance is out of whack, you're either going to get physically hurt, or if you're completely invested emotionally and you're have too much intensity with emotion, then it's going to hurt your mind, and it all has to work together. Anyway, law number 9, we got 2 to go. Wednesday and Friday, we'll wrap it all up with law number 11. See y'all soon. Oh, I'm still live.